How many times have we seen this map now? Welcome to the Giant. Hello, I'm Raging Amish, and I'm here to help out those who are looking to bring a little finesse to your zombies gameplay on the Giant. While I'm sure plenty of the zombies veterans out there have seen this map time and time again, Black Ops 3 of course brings a little bit of a different spin this time around. The Giant is a smaller map that is always fun to play, dating back to the days of World at War when we called it Der Ice. We all know what you're here for, so without further ado, let's cover how to survive on the Giant. Tip number 1. Use up your MR6 as fast as possible. This may sound like a dumb thing to say, but you should obviously make good use of your starting pistol. I will, however, recommend that you be smart. In round 1, I recommend 4 shots per zombie, and then using a knife to finish off your target. At round 2, use 8 shots per zombie, followed again by a knife attack. I would not advise using the MR6 at round 3 or 4, but if you should choose to do so, use 12 shots and 16 shots respectively, again followed by a knife attack. Compared to plain old shooting, you are maxing out your points early on by getting a knife kill rather than a bullet kill. Tip number 2. Use the RK5 in rounds 3 and 4. The logic here is very simple. In rounds 3 and 4, you can use a single burst on a zombie to the chest. You can follow up your burst with a knife attack, which of course offers more points than a standard kill. It's really that simple. Tip number 3. Don't buy any doors until round 5. This may not count as a tip, more so I'm putting out a personal preference. Most of the zombies in the early rounds are very slow, and can take some time to find if you open up doors early. The first 4 rounds should be dedicated to maxing out your points with early zombies in the starting area. If you followed my advice with the MR6 and RK5, you should hit round 5 with plenty of points in the bank. Tip number 4. Always open the furnace doors. Once you've got some points to spend, immediately head to the door that opens to the outside of the big open furnace room. Once there, you can buy the KRM-262 outside of the first set of doors. After that, buy those doors and get into the furnace room itself. At this point, I say don't wait around. Head up to the second floor, buy the door, and now you can go turn on the power. There's a reason why I'm proposing you go this way. Once you turn on the power, and assuming you've opened these doors, you have 4 of the 5 perk machines available right off the bat. Well, 6 if you include the Easter egg, but let's not talk about that right now. Regardless, opening these doors makes the most sense in my experience. Tip number 5. Your KRM is your friend. Up until round 9, the KRM shotgun is a one-hit kill. Yes, the weapon is a pump action. Yes, the reloads are slow. Yes, this is the worst shotgun in zombies. Still, it's a one-hit kill, you can get it from the wall, and it's especially useful against the Hellhounds. Add in the double tap root beer and the one-hit kill lasts well into the teen rounds. I'm not saying you should hold on to the KRM forever, but in the early rounds, I really advise buying guns from the wall so that you can save money. Which brings us to our next point. Tip number 6. Buy Juggernog. Seriously, go buy it. Do it now. Buy Juggernog. Get Juggernog. I'm not kidding. I really hope I didn't have to tell you this, but I do see players who buy other perks or waste their points on the mystery box before buying Juggernog. You need this as early as possible. Except for Quick Revive in a solo game, Juggernog is the most important perk out there. You will be able to take more hits from the zombies without being downed. Enough said. Tip number 7. Choose your wall weapon wisely. So, if you followed my advice thus far, you have an RK5 pistol and the KRM shotgun. With Juggernog in tow, it's now time to get a money-making weapon. As such, I'd recommend replacing it with one of the cheap automatics you can find on the wall. Your options include the Vesper, LCAR-9, or the VMP. Personally, I don't really have a preference between the 3, but you have easy access to all of them early on, and they will definitely help you make some money. You don't want to rely on these forever, of course. By around 11 or 12, the wall weapons become mostly obsolete, so you'll either need to hit their mystery box or open up the Pack-a-Punch. Speaking of which, that brings us to our next topic. Tip number 8. Connect the teleporters. If this map were bigger, I'd give you a how-to and explain where to find the teleportation pads. However, I'm going to give you all some credit and assume you know how to find them. The point I'm going to make here is that obviously you need to open up the Pack-a-Punch, and the earlier the better. You're going to need this machine. Tip number 9. Light the beacon for Dr. Maxis, i.e. the flytrap Easter egg. Normally, Easter eggs in a Call of Duty Zombies game are optional in my opinion, but frankly that's not the case here. There is a tiny fuse box located off the map that you need to shoot with a Pack-a-Punched weapon. Once you've done so, 3 green toys will fly off and you must shoot each of them. I'm showing you where to find each toy in the clips you're watching right now. Once you've hit all 3, Dr. Maxis will start talking and you can find an Annihilator in the furnace. I personally save this weapon for when I've been downed in multiplayer. You can use the Annihilator while waiting to be revived. And it can't hurt to have a one-hit kill weapon for those situations where you just lost your perks. So, what's our final takeaway point? Tip number 10. Cross your fingers with the mystery box. So, this may be cheating, as you technically don't control the mystery box, but ideally, if you've made it to round 10 or so, you should have a bank of cash to spend. Maybe instead you want to Pack-a-Punch one of the wall weapons? If so, that's fine. But at a certain point, you will need to start dumping cash into the mystery box. Hopefully the game will be merciful and grant you something decent. If not, well, then you're I'll give you a complimentary knock on wood, hoping that doesn't happen. With tip number 10, that concludes Surviving the Giant. For those who are wondering, yes, I do hope to make something like this for each of the Zombies maps as they come out. And of course, I'm looking at doing Shadows of Evil when time permits. Until next time, this is Raging Amish, checking out.